गंगा गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार। हाँ? अच्छा, मैंने पता नहीं। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। Nitya Prabhishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Swami. Let me start. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Prabhishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Prabhishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Prabhishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Goraksharas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityalala Prabhishra Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Is it live? Yeah, okay. Nityalala Prabhishra Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadas Raghunath Shar Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. नाम जय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट विरत गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. Is today anything special? Let me just check really quick. The calendar? No. All right. We'll do the Mangala Charan and then begin. Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Koriya Gurvanvaye Bhatto Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanaya Maya Mingilo Daragatan Udritya Jivaniman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukhang Pradat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodang Shri Gaur Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajang Radharasa Sudha Nidhim Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidanandanamine Gaur Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Vrishabhanusutan Vitavamatanum Yamuna Tattanagarana Sutam. Sorry. Murali Kalagita Vinoraparam Bhajagodrumakanana Kunjavidum Smara Gaura Gadadhara Kelikalam Bhava Gaura Gadadhara Pakshachara Shrinu Gaura Gadadhara Charukatam Bhaja Godrumakanana Kunjavidum Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvang Nayamang Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptastakama Ditarangamadhi Kripa Mai Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charana Ravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji, Nitai Mukesh ji. Let's see on YouTube and Facebook, Hari Priya Didi, and whoever else is there. I see there are 4 devotees there, maybe Indira Mataji, and I don't know who else. Dandavat Pranams. All right, so we are continuing with our reading of Daśa-mūla-śikṣā from the middle part of Jaiva-dharma. Today we will begin chapter 20, but there's still a little bit left of chapter 19, which we will finish today. Let's go over the introduction verse of Daśa-mūla, and then we will also look at a summary of yesterday's reading. All right. 1 second, let me just... Hari Bol, Prajumna Prabhu, and Mantra Murti Mataji. Okay. Amnaya Prahatatvam Iha Parama. Sorry. Actually, I'll explain it first and then we will recite it. So, Amnaya Praha, our Praman, our evidence is Amnaya. Amnaya is the teachings of the Vedas that are received through the Guru Parampara. So, that Praman of the teachings of the Vedas received through the Guru Parampara establishes the following 9 prameyas. Prameyas means that which is proven by the Praman. The first 3 prameyas are related to Sri Hari. The next 3 are related to the Jiva. Then Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva. And then our sadhana Shuddha Bhakti. And our sadhya is Krishna Prem. So let's go through it. Amnaya Prahatatvam Harim Iha Paramang Sarva Shakting Rasabding Tad Bhinnang Shangscha Jivan Prakriti Kavalitan Tad Vimuktangscha Bhavat Bheda Bheda Prakasham Sakalamapi Hare Sadhanam Shuddha Bhakting Sadhyam Tat Pritime Vetyupadishati Janan Gaura Chandra Swayang Sa. Okay, so let's look at our previous chapter. This is a summary these are questions that were made for Chudandi Maharaj's classes. Wow, he's really hopping around. Um, yeah, so I'm just looking. So first in this chapter, I'm not going to read everything in here, but we'll just look at parts of it. So Vijay Kumar, Brajanath's maternal uncle, he asked Raghunath Das Babaji, his first question to him was, what is, I think he asked, what is the Swarup Lakshana, or what is the intrinsic characteristics of bhakti? And so the Swarup Lakshan of bhakti is endeavors favorable for Krishna. That's Krishnanushilanam, which are performed with body, mind, and speech, and loving attitude of mind. Pritimoy manasa. Such endeavors, such cheshta, and spiritual sentiments, bhavs, are both favorable. They are both anukulya and constantly dynamic. By the mercy of Krishna and his bhaktas, when the special function of the internal energy of Bhagavan manifests upon the jiva's own spiritual strength, then the true form, the Swarup of bhakti, takes birth. While we are discussing the intrinsic characteristics, the Swarup Lakshan of bhakti, it is also necessary to describe its extrinsic characteristics, the Tatastha Lakshan. Srila Rupa Goswami has explained that there are two Tatastha Lakshan. The first is having no other desires, no anyabhilash. And the second is freedom from the covering of jnana, karma, and other such endeavors. Jnana, karma, adi, anavritam. Says that there's that famous verse, anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma anavritam anukulena krishnanushilanam bhaktirutama. It's the ultimate definition of bhakti, complete definition. It's a sutra. And then Vijay Kumar, was it Vijay Kumar or Rajanath? I can't remember now. I think it might have been Vijay Kumar. He asked, what are the six special characteristics of pure bhakti? And so then, what is it, like 6 verses after this Anyabhilashita Shunyam in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there's this verse which describes the 6 characteristics of bhakti. The first relates to sadhan bhakti, the next 2 relate to bhav bhakti, the last 2 relate to prem bhakti. So kleshagni, the ones that relate to sadhan bhakti is kleshagni and shubhada. Bhakti destroys all kinds of distress, and shubhada, she awards all kinds of good fortune. And the next 2 are moksha laguta krit, she makes the pleasure of impersonal liberation appear laguta, insignificant. And sudurlabha, she is rarely achieved. Then the last 2 is Sandrananda Visheshatma and Shri Krishna Karshini. Her nature is so the first one, Sandrananda Visheshatma, her nature is imbued with the most intense and superlative pleasure, ananda. And Shri Krishna Karshini, she is the sole means to attract Shri Krishna. What are you doing? Then Raghunath Das Babaji first explains Kleshagni, that she destroys all the kinds of distress. What are the 3 kinds of distress and the 3 kinds of sin? So it is pap, sin, and then sin in its seed form, pap bij, like the desire to commit sin, and ignorance of our position as being eternal servants of Krishna and who our identity is. Stop that. Sorry, Mangala keeps on trying to eat the stands for this mic. I have to move the computer a little bit further away so she can't reach it. Okay. And then sinful activity is classified as patak, sinful, mahapatak, very sinful, and then ati patak, extremely sinful. Then what are the 3 stages of, and then he also explained Shubhada a bit. From Shubhada is it's auspiciousness, and from that auspiciousness comes all these different qualities. Like I think he mentioned 4 qualities. One is compassion, uh, not wanting any desire for honor for yourself, and giving honor to all others, and humility. Yeah, those were the. Um, and in Madhuri Kadambini explains a bunch of other qualities that come once this Shubhada arises. So then, what are the three stages of the development of bhakti? There are three stages of development of bhakti. There's sadhan bhakti, bhav bhakti, and prem bhakti. How is sadhan bhakti defined? Sadhan bhakti, and this is very important, sadhan bhakti is any method that trains the mind to become Krishna conscious. That is the main thing why we perform any of our spiritual practice. All of our sadhan is for that reason, to become Krishna conscious. Our mind will always be absorbed in Krishna. Prem bhakti is nitya siddha. It is eternally perfect because it is a manifestation of Bhagavan's internal Shakti. But it is not evident in the heart of the conditioned jiva. Spiritual practice, sadhan, consists of the efforts of body, mind, and speech to make it appear in the heart. As long as bhav is not actually attained during the period of sadhan, it is considered a sentiment that is achieved by practice. But its eternal perfection becomes evident as soon as it manifests itself in the heart. And we read that whole section. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying clearly that bhakti is something that is not, it's not like bhakti is not already there. It's just in a unmanifest state. It needs to be awakened. Okay, so yeah, that was a whole section. We read that already. All right. So how many kinds of sadhan are there? There are two kinds of sadhan. There's a Vaidhī-sādhana and a Raganuga sadhan. What is Vaidhi Bhakti? And today's chapter will be like chapter 20, which will begin today, is he'll go through Vaidhī-sādhana-bhakti and basically going through all the 64 aṅgas of bhakti, 64 limbs of bhakti. Okay. So what is Vaidhi Bhakti? The jiva's spiritual propensity is manifest in two ways. The regulations found in the codes of Shastra are called Vidhi, and the inclination that has its origin in Vidhi is called Vaidhi Pravritti, the tendency to follow Shastra. And Bhakti that is caused by the discipline of Shastra is called Vaidhi Bhakti, because it has its origin in Vaidhi Pravritti. The Shastras have prescribed regulative duties called Vidhi, and have prohibited certain forbidden activities. That's called nishedh. So the regulations, vidhi, and prohibitions, nishedh. The prescribed duty, the Vaidhī-dharma of the jivas, is to follow all the regulations and to avoid all the prohibited activities. And what is the whole purpose between these vidhi and nishedh, these regulative duties and forbidden activities, is smartavya satatang vishnur vismartavyo najatu chit sarve vidhi nishedhasyur etayor eva kinkara. The purpose behind all the words of Shastra, all the regulations and prohibitions of Shastra, is the first is smartavya satatang vishnur. Always remember Vishnu. And all the prohibitions is so that we vismartavyo najatuchit, so that we may never forget him. Vismartavyo najatuchit. It says, and then it says, all sarve vidhi nishedasur. All the vidhis, all the regulations, and all the nishedha, all the prohibitions. Etayor eva kinkara. They are only servants. They are kinkara. They are servants of these two things. Smartavya satatam vishnur, vismartavyo najatuchit. To always remember Vishnu and never forget him. Okay. What are the three types of faithful persons who practice bhakti? Explain each. Oh, that's the Chaitanya Maharaj's question. So there are three types of such faithful people. There are the Kanishta, the neophyte, the Madhyam, the intermediate bhakta, and the Uttama, the highly exalted bhakta. And then Vrajanath asks about the four types of people who perform bhakti. Vrajanath says, it is said in the Bhagavad Gita that four kinds of people perform bhakti. Those who are distressed, artha, those who are inquisitive, jigyasu, those who are artharthi, those who are desirous, arthi of artha, of wealth, and jnanis, those who are searching for knowledge of the absolute. What kind of bhakti are they qualified for? And then Raghunath Babaji says, when they associate with saintly sadhus, their distress, their inquisitiveness, their desire for wealth, and their desire for knowledge are removed, and they develop faith in unalloyed devotional service. Then they immediately become qualified for engaging in bhakti. The prominent examples of this are Gajendra, for those who are distressed, Shonak and the other rishis of Naimisharanya, who are jigyasu, who are inquisitive, Dhruva, who is desirous of wealth, and the four Kumaras, who were searching for knowledge of the absolute. Then I forgot what the context was, so I explained the different five types of liberation. And the devotees only, they are not interested in any of these five types, but they fully reject Sayujya. But yeah, the five types of liberation are Salokya, Sarshti, Samipya, Sarupya, and Sayujya. Salokya is to live on the same planet as Bhagavan. Sarshti is to have the same opulences as Bhagavan. Samipya is to have constant association with Bhagavan. And Sarupya, to obtain bodily features similar to Bhagavan's. And then lastly is Sayujya, to become one with Bhagavan. Bhaktas of Shri Krishna do not accept Sayujya Mukti at any cost because it is blatantly opposed to this principles of bhakti. Salokya, Sarshti, Samipya, and Sarupya are not fully opposed to bhakti, but they still retain some adverse elements. The Bhaktas of Krishna also completely reject these four kinds of liberation that are manifested in Sri Narayan's abode. In some circumstances, these forms of liberation provide comforts and opulences, whereas in the matured stages, they guide one towards prem bhakti. If their ultimate result is only comfort and opulence, bhaktas should simply reject them. What to speak of liberation, even Narayan's prasad does not appeal to the unalloyed bhaktas of Sri Krishna. Sri Narayan and Sri Krishna have the same fundamental form and nature, the same sarup from the point of view of Siddhanta. But from the viewpoint of Ras, Sri Krishna's super excellent glory is an eternal fact. And then, is there any fault for a bhakta to neglect worldly duties? A bhakta who is qualified for Shuddha Bhakti may be situated in Varnashram, but his only duty is to follow the aṅgas of bhakti. And then all his worldly duties are fulfilled automatically. There is no fault in neglecting worldly duties where they are independent of bhakti or opposed to it. A qualified bhakta is by his very nature not inclined to neglect prescribed duties or to perform forbidden activities. Does a bhakta need to perform any penance if by chance he commits sin? If in spite of this, he accidentally commits some sinful activity, he does not have to perform the penances that are prescribed in the rules governing karma. When bhakti resides in the heart, sins that the bhakta commits by chance do not create a lasting impression, and they are destroyed very easily and quickly. That is why bhaktas do not need to perform any separate penance. Then what are the two and now Raghunath Das Babaji will explain this verse that we're on in Daśa-mūla, verse 9, I think, right? Let's just go through it. This is the eighth prameya, or the ninth Daśa-mūla. Where is it though? Sorry, I don't have it open. I need to open this. There it is. Okay. So these are the 9 aṅgas of bhakti, and this is what we're going to finish off today in our reading from chapter 19. Where is it? Oops. Shruti Krishna Kyanam Smarananati Puja Vidigana Tatha Dasyam Sakyam Paricharanamapyatma Dhadanam Navanganyetani Havidikata bhaktirānudinam bhajan shraddhayukta suvimala-rating vaisalabhyate. So, Shruti, that means hearing. Krishna Kyanam, chanting Krishna's name. Smarana, remembering him. Nati, bowing down to him. Puja, serving his, worshipping him. According to Vidhi, according to the rules and regulations, I'm guessing. I'm guessing that's what that Vidhi means. Then, as well as Dasyam, servitude. What are you doing? This is the first time he's ever done this. What the heck? Sorry, he's like stepped his feet on my lap. Okay. Then Dasyam, servitude to him. Sakyam paricharanam. Um, serving in a mood of friendship. And Atma dadanam. That means fully surrendering oneself to him. So these 9 limbs, Nava Angani. Angani makes limbs plural. So Anga means limb and Angani means limbs. So these 9 limbs, um, wait, let me just look at the translation really quick. So whoever cultivates these 9 Angas of Vaidhi Bhakti with faith certainly achieves Krishna Rati. Oh, wait, this translation isn't totally complete. Anyways, what? Oh, wait. Sorry. Um, yeah, so Shraddha Yukta, so okay. So when these vidhis, all these regulations, these 9 regulations of the 9 limbs of bhakti, when they are performed anudinam every single day, Shraddha Yukta, with Shraddha, with faith, then Labate, then one attains Suvimala Rati, completely pure Rati. Vai, certainly sa, he Labate attains. Okay, so now, what are the two, we read, yesterday we read about Shravan, Kirtan, and Smaran, and then we'll continue with the other 9. But what are the 2 stages of Shravan, of hearing? Hearing, Shravan, takes place when the descriptions of Krishna's transcendental holy name, form, qualities, and pastimes come in contact with the ears. There are 2 stages of Shravan. The first stage is hearing descriptions of Krishna's qualities and the association of Shuddha Bhaktas before developing Shraddha. This type of Shraddha creates faith so that one desires a keen desire to hear Sri Krishna Nama and his qualities. Then, after one has developed such faith, one hears Krishna's transcendental names and qualities with great eagerness from Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas. And that is the second kind of Shravan. One is the Shravan before faith and the Shravan after faith. From Sri, yeah. Shravan is one of the limbs of Shuddha Bhakti, and Shravan is the perfected stage. And Shravan in the perfected stage is manifested as a result of hearing from Guru and Vaishnavas in the stage of spiritual practice. How important is Kirtan among the 9 Angas of Bhakti? Kirtan has been described as superior to all other 9 Angas of Bhakti, and this is especially true in Kali Yuga, when Kirtan alone can bestow auspiciousness upon everyone. This is stated in all the Shastras. And in this verse from Padma Purana, it says, whatever is achieved in Satyug by meditation, in Treta Yuga by performance of yajna, and in Dwapara Yuga by worshipping Krishna's lotus feet, is also obtained in the age of Kali simply by chanting and glorifying Shri Keshav. No other method purifies the heart as effectively as Hari Kirtan. When many devotees perform Kirtan together, it is called Sankirtan. Shravan, Kirtan, and Smaran are the 3 primary Angas of Bhakti, for all the other Angas of Bhakti are included within them. And of these 3 Angas, Kirtan is the best and most important because Shravanam and Smaranam can be included within it. When one performs Kirtan, there is automatically Shravan going on and Smaran going on. So they're included within Kirtan. What are the 5 kinds of Smaran? So remembering Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes is called smaran, of which there are 5 kinds. Smarana means to contemplate some subject that has previously been heard of or experienced. Dharana means to fix the mind on a particular subject, withdrawing it from other objects. Dhyanam means to meditate on a specific form. And when dhyanam is unbroken, like a continuous flow of a stream of precious oil, it is called dhruv anusmriti. And then samadhi is the state in which one is oblivious to outside reality and only aware of the objects of meditation in one's heart. What are the 3 primary aṅgas or branches of bhakti? Oh wait, that's what we just went over that. Okay, what is the difference between mantra and nam? Okay, that's where we read up to. So let's go there. Sorry, I just ended up reading the whole document, but I think it's good to review everything nicely, thoroughly, I mean. Okay. Oh, and also I think we ended with reading about pada sevanam. So pada sevanam is pada sevana includes seeing the face of Krishna's deity form, touching him, circumambulating him, following him, and visiting holy places such as Sri Bhagavan's temple, the Ganga, Jagannath Puri, Dwarka, Mathura, Navadvip, and so forth. And Srila Rupa Goswami has presented these in a very clear and vivid way in his descriptions of the 64 Angas of Bhakti, which we're going to be going over in this chapter today, chapter 20. Service to Sri Tulsi and Shuddha Bhaktas are also included within this Anga, Pada Sevana. So having darshan of Krishna's form, touching him, circumambulating him, following him, going to holy places, serving Tulsi, and the pure devotees, this is all under Pada Sevana. Let me make the text bigger. Haribol Chatamai Mataji and Gokuleshwari Didi. 1 second. Okay. Now, next is the 4th Anga of Bhakti is, wait. The 5th Anga is worship, archan. There are many considerations regarding qualification and methods of worship. If one is attracted to the path of archan, even after being engaged in Shravan, Kirtan, and Smaran, then one should perform archan after properly accepting a Diksha mantra from Sri Gurudev. But it's not necessary. If after Shravan, Kirtan, and Smaran, one still wants to do archan, then yes, one may do so after properly accepting Diksha and mantra from Sri Gurudev. Brajanath, what is the difference between nam and mantra? Babaji, Shri Hari's name is the life and soul of mantra. The rishis have added words such as nama, obeisances to Sri Harinam, and disclosed its specific power. And then there's a footnote here. Refer to Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 772. Sri Harinam by nature has nothing to do with this material world, whereas the jiva, because of various bodily designations provided by Maya, is entrapped by objects consisting of dead matter. Consequently, in order to detach the jiva's mind from sense objects, different principles of archan have been established on the path of regulated devotional service, Maryada Mal. It is essential for materialistic people to accept diksha. When one chants the Krishna mantra, then siddhi, sadhya, susiddha, ari are not considered. Siddha, sadhya, susiddha, ari. When one chants Krishna mantra, these things are not considered. Let's see what the footnote says. This footnote's written by my Gurudev. So Gurudev will give initiation to his disciple after performing the process for purifying him on the 4 defects of siddha, sadhya, susiddha, and ari. Okay. Let's see. One may consult Hari Bhakti Vilas, first Vilas Anuched 52 to 103 regarding these 4 defects and their remedial measures. But in chanting the king of all mantras, the Krishna mantra of 18 letters, the Gopal mantra, there is no need to consider these 4 defects, because the mantra is so powerful that these 4 defects are very insignificant in comparison. In the Trilokya Samodan Tantra, Mahadev has said, Ashtadashakshara mantram adhikritya shivenoktam nachatra shatrava dosha varneshvadi vicharana. And in Brihad Gautamiya, it is stated that thing, Siddha Siddha Susiddhari Rupa, not whatever. Every single letter of this mantra is Brahma. I still, that didn't really answer now we know where to look it up, but I'm still curious what Siddha, Sadhya, Susiddha, and Ari are. Anyways, okay. Initiation into the exclusive chanting of the Krishna, we're reading the chapter again. Initiation into the exclusive chanting of the Krishna mantra is extremely beneficial for the jiva. For of all the different mantras in the world, the Krishna mantra is the most powerful. A bona fide disciple receives strength from Krishna immediately when a bona fide spiritual master initiates him into this mantra. After initiation, Gurudev educates the inquiring disciple concerning the performance of Archan. Briefly, Archan Marg includes the observance of Sri Krishna's appearance day, fasting in Kartik month, observing Akadashi, taking bath in the month of Magh, and other such activities. One should also understand that one must certainly worship Krishna's bhaktas as well as Krishna himself on the path of Archan. The sixth anga of Vaidhi, that's important. On the path of Archan, one must certainly worship Krishna's bhaktas as well as Krishna himself. That's very essential. Don't neglect the devotees just because we're worshiping the deity. The sixth anga of Vaidhi Bhakti is offering prayers and obeisances, vandanam. This is included as part of pada seva and kirtan, but it is still considered a separate anga of bhakti. Yeah, I guess it's considered part of pada sevanam because when we go to the temple, one will before the deity, when we go to the dham, all throughout that we are offering obeisances, right? And it's under kirtan because when we recite prayers, that's a form of kirtan. But still, it's considered a separate anga of bhakti. Namaskar itself is also called vandanam. Ekanga namaskar, um, Ekanga namaskar, and paying obeisances with 8 parts of the body touching the ground, Ashtanga namaskar, are 2 types of namaskar. So I guess Ekanga namaskar is just like when you're folding your hands. That's just using one limb of the body. But then Ashtanga namaskar is when all 8 parts of the body are touching the ground. And what are those 8 parts? It's the legs, the arms, the head. That's 5, right? And then your mind and speech. I think. Yeah, your mind, speech. I don't know. I can't remember what the 8 are, but I remember that Srila Bhaktivinoda Puri Goswami Maharaj was saying that if we're offering pranam and we're not doing it with our minds, like fully absorbed, like conscious, our attention is fully on the person that we're giving offering obeisances to, and we're not reciting something with our mouth. We're not like saying a pranam mantra or saying the name of the person then that's not Ashtanga Namaskar. There's also Panch Anga, like um oh, I think the heart. The heart is one of them. That was the one I was missing. Yeah, the heart. Um and then for ladies, they do Panchanga Namaskar. They don't lay down flat on the ground, but then it's just their arms, legs, and like that, but not their heart, I guess. Like their chest touching the ground. That's what I mean. Okay. So it is considered offensive to offer obeisances with only one hand touching the ground. To offer obeisances when the body is covered with cloth. Yeah, that one is really strange. I remember seeing a couple people once taking off their shirts to offer pranam because they're not supposed. Anyways, I thought that was really interesting. Um, and then to offer obeisances behind the deity, to offer prostrated obeisances with the body pointing directly towards the deity, or with the right side towards the deity, and to offer obeisances in the Garbha Mandir, in the deity room. Yeah, you should never, when you're on the altar, you don't offer obeisances like that. You offer obeisances outside of the altar, like the deity room. Um, that's interesting. I didn't realize it's offensive to offer prostrate obeisances directly towards the deity. We only offer obeisances directly towards Sri Guru, but towards the deity, we must have our left side facing the deity, where our heart is, right? That's a way to think of it. Yeah. All right. Now the next one. Performing service, dasyam, is the seventh anga of bhakti. I am Krishna's servant. This ego or conception of the self is dasyam, and bhajan performed with the sentiment of a servant is the topmost bhajan. Dasyam includes offering obeisances, reciting prayers, offering all of one's activities, serving, keeping proper conduct, remembering, and obeying orders. Katha shravanam, that's obeying orders. The eighth anga of bhakti is serving as a friend, sakyam, which includes the mood of kinship towards Krishna, with endeavors for his well-being. There are two kinds of sakyam, two kinds of friendship in Vaidhi Bhakti. There's friendship in Vaidhi Bhakti and friendship in Raganuga Bhakti. But Sri Prahlad Shloka, the one, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam, that verse of Prahlad Maharaj, it refers to Vaidha Anga Sakyam. For example, the feeling of Sakyam while serving the deity as is Vaidya Sakya. So we feel, while we're serving the deity, we feel friendship towards the deity. Now, the ninth anga is known as Atma Nivedana. I remember just regarding that Sakyam, I'm remembering Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj wrote a letter to Umadidi saying that by worshiping, by doing archan of the deity, feelings of, there's three things he said. Let me see if I can remember. There are feelings of mamata, um, priti, like sneha, I think maybe. We feel love, we feel attachment, and vatsalya. And we feel some kind of like, uh, like the deities are dependent. And so we're always thinking, oh no, the deity's hungry. Where there's like a vatsalya there, like parental kind of feeling. Okay, so the ninth anga of is known as Atmanivedan, which means offering the whole self, body, mind, and pure Atma to Sri Krishna. The characteristics of Atmanivedan are exclusive endeavor for Krishna and lack of activity for one's own self-interest. It is also characteristic of Atmanivedan that one lives to serve the desire of Krishna and keeps one's own desire subordinate to Krishna's desire, just as a cow that has been purchased does not care for its own maintenance. Yep, these cows here have nothing to worry for themselves. Everything is maintained, provided for them. So Atmanivedan in Vaidhi Bhakti is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 4, verses 18 to 20 as follows. This is Ambarish Maharaj, how he utilized all his senses, how he fully surrendered himself and utilized all his everything in the service of Krishna. So, Savai Mana Krishna Padaravindayor Vachangsi Vaikunta Gunanuvarnane Karo Harer Mandiramarjanadishu Shrutim Chakara Chutasat Kato Daye. Ambarish Maharaj engaged his mind in serving the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, his words in describing the qualities of Sri Bhagavan, his hands in cleaning Sri Hari's temple, and his ears in hearing Achyuta's blissful pastimes. Mukundalingalaya darshane drisho tadbhrittagatra sparshinga sangaman Granam chatatpada saroja saurabe Srimatulasyaam rasanang tararpite. He engaged his eyes in seeing the deity of Mukunda, different temples and the holy places, all his bodily limbs in touching the bodies of Krishna's bhaktas, his nostrils in smelling the divine smell of tulsi offered to Krishna's lotus feet, and his tongue in tasting the prasad offered to Bhagavan. Pado hare kshetra padanusarpane Shiro hrishikesha padabhivandane Kamam chadasye natu kama kamyaya Yatottama shloka janashraya rati. His feet were always engaged in walking to Bhagavan's holy places, and he'd pay obeisances to Sri Krishna's lotus feet. Ambarish Maharaj would offer garlands, sandal, bhoga, and similar paraphernalia in Bhagavan's service, not with the desire to enjoy himself, but to receive the love for Sri Krishna that is present only in his Shuddha Bhaktas. And then we already read this part. When Vijay Kumar and Rajanath heard Babaji Mahashaya's very sweet and blissful instructions, they were overwhelmed with joy and offered obeisances to him, saying, Prabhu, you are directly Bhagavan's personal associate. We are both blessed today by receiving your nectarian instructions. We were wasting our days in the useless pride of caste, family, and high education. By dint of the wealth of Sukriti accumulated in many previous lifetimes, we have obtained your mercy. Then Vijay, Rajanath's maternal uncle, said, O most eminent of the Bhagavats, Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur has ordered me to visit the yoga pit at Sri Mayapur. By his mercy today, I took darshan of that holy place and also of a personal associate of Sri Bhagavan. If you will be so kind, I will come again tomorrow evening. When the elderly Babaji heard Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur's name, he immediately offered prostrated dandavats and said, I offer my respectful obeisances again and again to the incarnation of Vyasadeva in Sri Chaitanya's pastimes. Since it had become quite late in the morning, Rajanath and Vijay Kumar then departed for Rajanath's home. Thus ends the 19th chapter, and now, which is entitled Abhideya Tattva, now we're beginning chapter 20, and we'll just read for 10 minutes, and then we'll end. And this chapter is 7,000 words, and so I think in 10 minutes we can read maybe like 1,000 words or something. No, a bit more than 1,000 words. And then we'll be able to finish chapter 20 tomorrow. So yeah, because 7,000 words is too much to finish in one reading, but 5,000 or 6,000 we can finish in one reading. So Prameya, Abhideya, Vaidhī-sādhana-bhakti. Rajanath and Vijay Kumar returns to Rajanath's home before noon. Rajanath's mother was waiting for them, and she lovingly served them sumptuous prasad. On completion of the meal, uncle and nephew had affectionate discussions, and Rajanath gradually explained to his respected maternal uncle all the instructions that he had previously heard from Babaji Maharaj. So he explains everything from, I think chapter 13 was about sadhan. So he already got some kind of introduction to sadhan, but then he went through the Daśa-mūla. So Rajanath explained all the Daśa-mūla-ślokas and everything regarding those Daśa-mūla-ślokas to Vijay Kumar. When Vijay Kumar heard these nectarian instructions, he became blissful and said, You are most fortunate. Satsanga is obtained only by great fortune. You have obtained the very rare association of a great saint like Babaji Mahashaya, and he has given you substantial instructions about the highest goal of life, about the Paramartha. One who hears Bhakti Katha and Hari Katha certainly attains good fortune and well-being. But if these topics are heard from the mouth of a great personality, then good fortune comes especially quickly. You are learned in all the Shastras, and your scholarship in Nyaya Shastra is especially unparalleled. You are born in a Vedic Brahmin family, and are not without wealth. All these opulences now appear as your ornaments. The reason for this is that you have taken shelter of the lotus feet of Vaishnavas and acquired a taste for Sri Krishna's Leela Katha. As they discussed the supreme goal of life in this way, Rajanath's mother entered and said, Vijay Kumar, so that's Rajanath's mother, so Vijay Kumar's sister, right? So Vijay Kumar's sister said, Brother, it is so long that you are here. Please encourage Rajanath to become a grahasta, a householder. From his behavior, I am afraid that he might become some kind of sadhu. Several people have come with proposals for marriage, but he has taken a vow not to get married. My mother-in-law has also endeavored in this regard, but he was not convinced. After listening to his sister, Vijay Kumar replied, I will stay here for about 15 days and reflect carefully on this matter. and then inform you of my decision. Now please go inside the house. Rajanath's mother left, and Vijay Kumar and Rajanath again engaged in talks about the supreme goal of life. The whole day passed like this. The following day, when they had taken their meal, Vijay Kumar said, Rajanath, this evening let us both go to Shiva's Angan and hear from Babaji Maharaj the explanation of the 64 aṅgas of bhakti given by Srila Rupa Goswami. Hey Rajanath, may I achieve association like yours birth after birth. Now Babaji Maharaj has described two paths of sadhana bhakti. He described Vaidhī-marg and Rag-marg. Frankly speaking, we are actually qualified for Vaidhī-dharma. Thus, we should understand Vaidhī-marg thoroughly and begin to practice sadhana before hearing instructions on a Rag-marg. During his last talk, Srila Babaji Maharaj gave us instructions about the ninefold, the Navada processes of bhakti. However, I do not understand how I should begin Navada bhakti. Today, we should understand the subject more deeply. So the 64 aṅgas are just describing how to perform the 9 aṅgas, basically, right? As they continued on in this way, it became evening. The sun's rays had left the earth and were playing with the high branches of the trees. Vijay Kumar and Rajanath left home and arrived at Srivas Angan again. There they offered their Dandavat Pranam to the assembled Vaishnavas and then entered the elderly Babaji's kutir. Seeing how eager the bhaktas were to learn, Babaji became very pleased. With great love, he embraced them and offered them each an asan. They both offered their Dandavat Pranam to Babaji Mahashai's feet and sat down. After they had chatted for a short time, Vijay Kumar said, Prabhu, we are certainly giving you much trouble. However, you mercifully accept it because of your affection for the bhaktas. Today we would like to hear from you about the 64 different aṅgas of bhakti that Sri Rupa Goswami has described. If you think that we are qualified, kindly tell us so that we can easily realize Shuddha Bhakti. Babaji smiled and said, First, listen attentively. I will recite the 64 aṅgas of bhakti as described by Sri Rupa Goswami, the first 10 of which are the basic preliminary aṅgas. And I think we'll just read through the 64 aṅgas of bhakti and then we'll conclude our reading for today. And then the rest of the chapter, he goes into detail about each one of these 64 limbs of bhakti. But right now, he's just going to list them all. So the first 10 aṅgas, which are the basic preliminary aṅgas of bhakti, are 1. Taking shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Guru. That's Guru Padashray. Then 2 is taking initiation and instruction from Sri Guru. That's Guru Diksha and Shiksha. Then 3, serving Sri Guru with faith. Vishwas Purvak Guru Seva. Then 4 is following the path outlined by sadhus. Sadhu Marg Anugamana. Then 6, inquiring about Sad-dharma are the procedures of bhajan. And 7, renouncing all enjoyment of sense objects for Krishna's sake. Was that 7? Anyways, I don't know. Why are there no numbers? The numbers, let me just see. Oh, there are numbers. It's just we couldn't see that because it was too big. Okay, so I'll just have to make it small. Okay, so 5, inquiring about Sad-dharma are the procedures of bhajan. 6, renouncing all enjoyment of sense objects for Krishna's sake. 7, residing in dhams such as Dwarka and near to holy rivers such as the Ganga and the Yamuna. I'm near the Ganga. Sorry. 8, accepting only as much money and other facilities as are required to sustain one's life. 9, respecting Akadashi, Janmashtami, and other days related to Hari. 10, offering respects to the Ashwatha tree, Amalaki tree, and other sacred trees. So the first 10 are the most, they're just the most fundamental preliminary aṅgas, which is Guru Parashai, Guru Shiksha and Diksha, Then Guru Seva with faith, following the sadhus, inquiring about the process of bhajan, renouncing all enjoyment of sense objects for Krishna's sake, residing in the Dham, accepting only as much money and things that one needs, respecting Akadashi, and honoring sacred trees. Those are now the next 10 angas take form of prohibitions. Abandoning all association of those who are averse to Krishna. Not accepting unqualified people as disciples. That's an important one. That's not. Then 13, renouncing pretentious endeavors such as pompous festivals, etc. 14, refraining from reading and reciting many books and making novel interpretations of Shastra. Wow. I don't follow that one. I read lots of different kinds of books. So, yeah, refraining from reading and reciting many books and making novel interpretations of Shastra. Then 15, avoiding miserly behavior and practical dealings. That's an important one. Avoiding miserly behavior and practical dealings. We shouldn't be miserly. 16, not being influenced by emotions such as lamentation. 17, not disrespecting or blaspheming the devatas. 18, not harassing any jiva. 19, abandoning fully offenses in seva aparad, and in the chanting of Sri Harinam, Sri Nam aparad. And then 20, not tolerating blasphemy of Bhagavan and his bhaktas. So if we ever hear blasphemy of Bhagavan and his bhaktas, we should never tolerate it. You should understand these 20 angas to be the entrance to the temple of bhakti. And the first three, taking shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Guru, taking diksha and shiksha from Guru, and serving him with faith, are the main activities. After this are the following. 21. Adopting the outward signs, such as tilak, of a Vaishnava. 22. Wearing the symbols of Sri Harinam on one's body. 23. Accepting the remnants of garments, garlands, and so on that have been offered to the deity. 24. Dancing in front of the deity. 25. Offering Dandavat Pranam to Sri Guru, Vaishnav, and Bhagavan. 26. Respectfully rising from one's seat on having darshan of Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavs and greeting them. 27. Following the deity in procession. 28. Visiting the temples of Sri Bhagavan. 29. Circumambulation, parikrama of the temple. And 30. Performing deity worship, puja and archan. Now 31. Serving Sri Krishna like a king, paricharya. 32. Singing. 33. Performing congregational chanting of Sri Krishna's Nam and Nam Sankirtan. Then 24. Performing japa of the Gayatri mantras at the 3 sandhyas after first performing achman. 35. Offering submissive prayers or entreaties. 36. Reciting bhajans or mantras in praise of Sri Krishna. 37. Relishing Bhagavat Prasad. 38. Drinking Sri Charanamrita, the nectar that has washed Sri Krishna's lotus feet. 39. Smelling the fragrance of incense, garlands, and so on that have been offered to Sri Krishna. And then 40. Touching the deity. 41. Viewing, having darshan of Sri Murti with devotion, of the Vigraha, the deities with devotion. 42. Having darshan of arati and festivals, etc. 43. Hearing about the names, forms, qualities, pastimes, etc. of Sri Hari. 44. Always anticipating Krishna's mercy. 45. Contemplating smaranam of Sri Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. 46. Meditation. 47. Servitorship. 48. Friendship. 49. Self-surrender. And 50. Offering one's own very dear items to Krishna. 51. Incessantly performing activities for Krishna's pleasure. 52. Full self-surrender, sharanagati, onto Sri Krishna's lotus feet. 53. Serving Tulsi Devi. 54. Respecting Srimad Bhagavatam and other Bhakti Shastras. 55. Hearing and singing the glories of Sri Hari's Dham and his appearance places, such as Mathura, and circumambulating them. 56. Serving the Vaishnavas. 57. Celebrating festivals related to Sri Krishna and gatherings of sadhus according to one's means. 58. observing the vow of Chaturmasya and especially Niyam Seva in the month of Kartik. 59. Celebrating the festivals of Shri Krishna's appearance day. Then 60. Wait, does it say 60 there? Yeah, 60. Shraddhaya Shri Murtir Sevan, serving the deity with faith. Then 61. Bhagavat Shravan, relishing the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam in association with the Rasik Vaishnavas. 62. Sadhu Sangha, associating with bhaktas who are of the same mood, affectionate, and more advanced than oneself. Swajatya Susnigda Sadhu Sangha. Nam Sankirtan, the loud congregational chanting of Krishna's name. And Mathura Vas, residing in dhams like Mathura and Vrindavan. Although the last 5 aṅgas have been described at the ends, they are nonetheless the most important. They are also referred to as Panch Anga Bhakti, 5-fold devotional service. All these aṅgas are to be followed with body, senses, and the inner faculty, mind, heart, and soul, in the worship of Krishna. So then, this is where we're ending here. But Vijay will ask Prabhu, please give us some detailed instructions regarding accepting shelter at the lotus feet of a spiritual master, Sri Guru Parashaya. So then he'll explain that, and he'll also explain all the other 64 in detail. So that's what we will read tomorrow. All right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Haribo, Nitai Gaur Haribo, Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shri Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Swapasha Ji Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Jai Shri Jaiva-dharma Ki Jai, Srila Satchid Ananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai, Jai Raghunath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Rajanath and Vijay Kumar Ki Jai, Jai Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Nilai Toshi Deva. Priyaya Keshavascha Krishna Bhakti Paradevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhu Bhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Nitai Mukesh ji, Gokuleshwari Didi, Chatamai Mataji, and let's see on YouTube and Facebook, Vidyalala Sadidi, Kishore Kumar Prabhu, Hari Priya Didi, Ganga Mataji, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Suman Shil ji, and maybe Indira Mataji and whoever else is there. Dandavat pranams. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you all tomorrow to read about, in detail, the 64 aṅgas of bhakti. There's Padmaganda, fast asleep. I mentioned yesterday, I'm just going to mention it again because I need to keep on I need to keep on doing it until I end up getting the money. But yeah, we would like to get a grass cutting machine. So because right now it takes like 1.5 hours every day to cut the grass, and there's only two of us here, and so yeah and I mean Sewell does all the work, and so yeah, I'm trying to collect for getting a grass cutting machine. Yesterday I got $40 so far, and the grass cutting machine's like 300. I think it's like $320. I can't remember. Um, but yeah, it's around there. I think I'm gonna have to make a fundraiser, like a proper fundraiser thing. But just mentioning it now, if anybody wants to contribute towards that, that would be very helpful. Um, all right. And also to all the devotees who already did contribute, thank you so much. Really means a lot. All right. Dandavat pranams. See you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Oh wait, let me look at the comments really quick. How can one do the course with Maharaj? I don't know what Prajuna was referring to here. Um, like, oh, I think Prajuna was referring to what we read at the beginning, the summary. So that was Tridandi Maharaj before he went through Jaiva Dharma, and so those were the questions that he gave everybody to answer. But that program's over, and now he's doing Rai Ram Sambad. That's his new program. Yes, Niri Hari Prabhu.
Yes, we were wondering how to contribute. Where do we go? What site, or you have PayPal, or how do we do it?
I do have PayPal. Yeah, that's one way. If somebody's in India and they wanted my UPI ID or like my number attached to my account, then otherwise my PayPal, maybe yeah, thank you for mentioning. I'll put it up on the screen.
Okay, great.
Um
If
here.
you put it on the WhatsApp, that would be great.
Yeah, and I'll just put it right here even.
Okay.
I mean it's very simple. It's just my name and at gmail.com. madhukardas@gmail.com. This is my email. madhukardas@gmail.com. There. That's my PayPal. madhukardas@gmail.com. You could put a dot in there, but you don't need to put a dot. Also, it still works without the dot. Actually, no, put the dot. Madhukar period das@gmail.com.
I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
And the screen doesn't have a period, but we should put it anyhow, just in case. Madhukar.
Yeah, Madhukar period
Okay.
das@gmail.com. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, and also if anybody can contact me in any way and I can help. There's many different ways through Wise,
I
through
don't have much money. I
account.
was thinking of giving you $10.
Yeah, that's $10 is wonderful. That's every contribution is very much appreciated.
We're kind
Thank
of
you.
Okay.
broke.
Well,
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams, everybody. See you
Hari
tomorrow.
Church.